So we're now going to have to wait until October the 21st at 5 p.m. before applications for Clare manager go in. So there had been talk of Brian Lohan, there had been talk of Lohan and Mulqueen, and actually there had been talk of Anthony Daly, but Paddy McMahon, he reported online and in an article with the Echo that there was talk of Anthony Daly being part of Brian Lohan's backroom team, but I think even
that would make sense given that the two of them were going to run together against Jerry O'Connor and Donald Moloney. But like Clare were knocked out of the championship in mid-June.
Yeah,
we're looking at 4 months and a bit of change before we have nominations in for a job.
Do you know there was mixed messages from the county board meeting that happened on Wednesday night? So the chairman Joe Cooney, he was saying that the players were spoken to, but to get their views, and we sat down with members of the senior panel when putting together a review. But then he was asked by Colm Honan. He said he was talking about the massive unease, and he compared the appointment to a beauty contest. But then there was talk that the players weren't actually consulted fully on their views, and there was concern expressed through John Fall that Brian Lohan and Lohan and Mulqueen might decide to withdraw their names now. And Cooney said, "I presume they will be gone." So where does that leave them?
Yeah, by all accounts, the Clare senior panel seemed to think that there was there'd be no communication with them, or that they had no say in what was going on.
There was talk that Patrick O'Connor, who's the captain, had been contacted via phone by Joe Cooney and leading into it.
Ringing one player is not contacting the players, shall we say? Do you know what I mean? Be interesting. Like there's a list of members of people who were on the committee there. If you want to go through them.
So Joe Cooney, 2-time National Hurling League winner, Colm Honan, NUI GA Development Officer Michael O'Connor, Niall Romer, who was an All Ireland winner with the juniors in 1993, and then former county board chairman Michael O'Neill. He was proposed and seconded by delegates to be in there.
Niall Romer is an interesting character. We were down playing Clare Castle one Friday night in Clare down around Ennis, and I met him out that night. He's a good character. He doesn't hold back his word, so I'd say his role in that committee would be fairly interesting.
Yeah, he's the one who said that Anthony Daly now would have been part of Brian Lohan's proposed backroom team. So if, as Cooney is saying, that he presumes Brian Lohan will be gone, and Lohan and Mulqueen, who's been involved with Liam Mellows, does that mean the possibility of Daly is also gone? I suppose nothing's agreed till everything's agreed, and nothing's off the table till everything's off the table. So
people are kind of saying with the prospect of Lohan and Mulqueen being manager, people immediately link that back to Davy.
Yeah,
and immediately link that back to the Fitzgeralds like having power, or that's leaving the door open for Davy to return and all this kind of crack. Like Lohan and Mulqueen in his own right has been involved in 3 All-Ireland winning management teams in 95, 97, 2013, brought Mellows to their first county title in God knows how long.
45 years or something.
Do you know what I mean? Like so it's a bit disingenuous to him to say that if he were manager that it's there's a cloud hanging over it and it's to do with Davy. Like, do you know what I mean? It's him going for from what I can see, it's him going for a job in his own right.
Yeah, and as Derek Lynch was reporting, significant that clubs made it clear that the process from here on needs to be open and transparent, and like I mentioned this quote already, and not a beauty contest as Colm Honan labelled it up to now. So it is a bit of a joke, even the fact that the players came out with a statement during the week, even talking about the fundraising that Clare Supporters Club had raised like 350 odd grand since 2016, which is set up by Jerry O'Connor and Donald Moloney, and at Clare alone it was 710 grand to prepare their teams in 2017. And I mean, obviously, like if we want to kind of just be fairly rudimentary, cut it in half, you're talking 350-ish, 355 I suppose for the hurling team alone, which if that supporters club is raising in the space of a few years, that is not insignificant.
No, it's huge, Even I think Paul Flanagan's tweet might have spurred the Clare squad to put out a tweet. He kind of tweeted that, he kind of said about in this era of professionalism in the GA with managers, like, he basically said it was amateur hour with the county board and was like zero vision, this kind of crack. And then a Clare player statement came out then subsequently. But I'd like to know what the conversations are behind the scenes. I'd say the Clare players are absolutely fuming at the moment.
They must be.
The only thing I will say about this is, and while it's a longer delay, at least it is going to be a proper process gone through now, and whoever gets the job, it's not like this is almost like, because up to this was like a game of dominoes, and whichever domino was left standing is going to get the job.
The pressure's on now.
Yeah, the pressure is
on. So if they
get
the wrong man, everyone will say, look, we really warned you, we gave you time, we made a statement, the whole lot, and you haven't delivered. And I think Clare are going to be under the gun next year anyway.
They are.
And I think Waterford are going to be under the gun next year. these appointments have to be gotten right, and the players are pretty much like, the thing is, if the players get their man, they have to deliver it then.
Yeah, I tell you what, I feel very sorry for Donald Moloney and all this. I have to say,
Yeah.
he was it was like a bit of muck on someone's shoe the way they were treating him. I think it was disgraceful. Whether he was good enough to be in the job by himself or not is not the story here. He wanted the job and was basically just left kind of hanging, hanging until he eventually went himself, and that was the right thing to do as well, because they didn't tell him, but they in a way told him, we don't want you, but we don't want you, but if we don't get anyone else, we want you.
You'll do.
And he was dead right to walk away after giving a decade of service to Clare. This really annoys me about the GA. We have no sense of the service somebody is given right like that. They could have. It doesn't look like a conversation was had with Donald Moloney, who said, "Donald, listen, we really appreciate your service, and we just think we need to change of direction." I'm sure he would say, "Grand lads, I totally appreciate that." Not like, "Donald, we might get back to you there in a week or two, and we don't really know." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just stringing him along, and it's really, to be honest, it's just really disrespectful. And I'd say he would be reluctant to get involved under that Clare board again.
Let us know who you think should be Clare manager.